Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for taking out time on a Tuesday morning. We'll probably wait for a minute or two as more and more people are hopping on, and then we'll get started. So, thanks again everybody for taking out the time. I'll quickly set the agenda. I know we blocked about 45 minutes, but it'll just be about, oh wow, somebody's been here for 11 years with Athena. Great. I thought Emitter would be the oldest partner of Athena, but I see people have been using Athena for longer than us. So this shouldn't take more than 20 to 25 minutes. We try to keep our webinars short deliberately. We try not to talk too much about the product. We do go over the product. Otherwise our marketing team will of course ask me questions that, hey, you did not show the product, right? But we try to keep that limited, jokes apart. But the agenda of today's call is, in today's webinar, is to give you a quick overview of how we've seen Athena Health customers use AI and save, of course, on average 70 plus hours, but get a lot more value than just 70 plus hours, right? So I'll dive right in. I'm going to share my screen and go over the presentation. And wherever I need to, shuffle between the presentation and product just to show you and help you visualize how that works, I'll do that as well, right? So let me do one thing. Let me quickly share my screen. My name is Anmol. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Emitter. Quick overview for those of you who do not know about Emitter and you're attending one of our webinars for the first time. Emitter works with 1,000 plus healthcare businesses today across over 1,500 plus physical offices. I would say Athena is our oldest and most mature integration and partnership, which is why we build and innovate on top of Athena the fastest. So that's a little bit about, a little background about how long we've been in business. At a top level, what we do is we help healthcare businesses solve for everything to do with communication and front desk operations, right? I hear time and again people coming into healthcare technology and building technology to replace receptionists. I tell everybody our mission at Emitter is to augment technology with front desk receptionists and make them more and more successful by automating things which are redundant, right? So they can do better things. That's essentially what we do. We essentially help front desk receptionists. We take up a lot of their communication tasks and automate them. Reminders, follow-ups, post-care, pre-care. And now we've of course introduced AI, and we do this through channels, right? Voice, SMS, emails, etc. But yeah, that's maybe for later. So today's topic of course is how AI is saving 70 plus hours every week for Athena Health practices. I'll maybe try and help everybody understand how to think about AI before we jump and talk a little bit about how AI is actually saving time. A good way to think about AI, and once you've understood how to think about AI, everything that I present today will start to make sense, is to think of it like an additional resource at the front desk, right? If you need, let's say 5 front desk staff or 3 front desk staff and you have one, or you're short by 1 or 2, instead of trying to add that additional resource, you can today use AI to save time for your existing resources so they can do more and they can do the job of, the 5 people that you actually needed. That's what we are seeing. More and more offices are realizing that, hey, there's a staffing shortage overall in the United States here, and maybe we can't magically get so much more staff. So can we use AI to augment that staffing shortage, right? So let's dive right in. I, of course, already introduced myself and I told you that we have 1,000 plus practices. We send over 200 million plus text messages through Emitter every year. Today, what we'll talk about is 4 areas. What are the hidden costs that every healthcare practice has, which they don't realize? So what I mean by hidden costs is maybe you spend $1,000 a month on Athena, which is obvious because you spend $1,000. But what you're not aware of is how much time your front desk is spending on things which could have been automated. Now that's the hidden cost, right? To where Athena Health users lose the most time weekly, in line with the time is money, so in line with the first thought, and how AI actually automates these bottlenecks. Now, we think that AI could potentially automate a lot of use cases, but I'm going to focus on just 2 use cases for today because those are the 2 use cases we've seen most amount of success with. And the 4th thing is, how do you evaluate AI platform? There are, dime a dozen in the market today that claim to be AI or, have AI in the system, right? So how do you decide that, hey, if I have 100 options, which one should I pick? And before I do that, quick recap just for everybody to understand and everybody to be able to relate to the problems today is that on average today in 2025, I know we are at the fag end of 2025, so maybe this is more to do with 2026, but average practices lose anywhere between 30 to 60 hours a week on manual work, right? Think of things like printing paper forms, calling patients and reminding them of their upcoming appointments, following up on no-shows manually, following up post-care manually. These are all the things which require manual coordination, and that's what AI is completely replacing now. The second problem, or the second state of issues in healthcare operations today, is that almost everybody is facing a staffing shortage, right? Either due to burnout or maybe simply because there are better opportunities or just trained staff is lesser. What I mean by trained staff is lesser and lesser. Just yesterday, we were speaking to a very large Athenahealth customer, about 20 offices. And we were asking them about, what's your prescription refill process? And they said, hey, across 10 odd locations, the front desk is allowed to create prescription refills, and across 10 odd locations, they just create a case in Athena. And I asked them that what's the reason? Why is there a gap? And they said that there are 10 offices that are very well trained and 10 offices that are unable to catch up, right? So training again and again takes time because of staffing shortage. And the most important thing that we see is everybody talks about modernizing practice communications. And time and again, we go back and ask, hey, what is modernizing? What do you mean by modernizing communication? Everybody is going back and saying that what I mean by modern, and is realizing what I mean by modern tech communication is, I don't want phone calls. I don't want patient portals. We want to be able to send and receive text messages. So these are the three key takeaways of state of practice operations in 2025. Now, as I said, we'll first talk about, we'll first try to set the context as to where is time being lost. Without going through each and every line item, I'll quickly tell you, where this is what we hear, and we did a survey across our customers. And of course, there's a data source here from MGMA. I'm sure most of us here know what is MGMA. But even when we did a survey across our customers, we found out that, hey, manual appointment reminders and confirmations end up taking up at least 10 to 15 hours a week. Phone-based scheduling and rescheduling. This is an interesting one. Let me help you visualize what I mean by phone-based scheduling and rescheduling, especially the rescheduling piece, right? Just last month, we were onboarding a customer that had, I think, about 10 offices. They use a different EMR. They use eClinicalWorks. While we were onboarding them, they were picking up the phone and dialing their patients across one of the offices on the training day. And they said that, hey, we can't actually do the training today because we have to call our patients. And I said, why do you have to call your patients to reschedule? And they said, we have plumbing issues in the practice today. So, I was taken aback. I said that, why does the front desk need to spend hours picking up the phone, dialing patients and telling them that, hey, there's a plumbing issue, so we'll need to reschedule? Now, this is an example where, a lot of time, front desk's time gets wasted on things like this. Plumbing could be one reason. It could be bad weather. It could be, a provider calling sick, so on and so forth. All of that leads to wasted time because you're trying to reschedule an appointment which was already booked because of a completely different or an unrelated problem. And the front desk is losing time, right? So it doesn't add up to the revenue at all. So these are, of course, we don't have to, we'll of course send the presentations to everybody, but these are some of the areas where we see front desk staff losing a lot of time, right? And you're losing almost 70 hours per week, right? Across, now think of it, if you have 3 team members and you're losing 70 hours, you're almost losing 200 hours a month, right? AI can give you at least half of that time back. Imagine you could get half of that time back. You could either spend it with your family or you could just help the practice grow much faster. So let's try and understand how AI can help you here, right? I told you that how to think about AI is that you try and see if there are areas, if you needed, let's say 5 front desk receptionists, but you have 3, try not to hire 2 more, but try to save time for these 3 people on your team already, right? You should try and employ AI everywhere where a thing is very repetitive in nature. Phone calls are repetitive in nature. Let's try and create an example to get together here. Phone calls are repetitive, high volume interaction, right? They happen fairly frequently. So you probably get phone calls every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. So it's high volume plus it's repetitive and it's predictable. Predictable in the sense that on average, over the course of the years, you've realized that on average, you will end up, getting at least 20 to 30% of prescription refill calls, 20 to 30% of appointment calls, so on and so forth. Those are exactly the things that AI can actually automate. Anything that is repetitive, occurs in high frequency, AI can come in and do an equally good, in some cases even better. Yes, that's the reality. In some cases, even better job. So by no means does this mean that, hey, the front desk is not needed, but the front desk can smartly let go of this and let AI do this, and they can focus on more important patient-facing needs, right? I'll probably show you an example of what are the key capabilities or what are the key things we've implemented with AI with just one example within our system. Some of you probably understand this very well, this interface, but within our system, you can come in here, create AI agents. As I said, think of the AI agent like a front desk receptionist. There are 4 parts to the AI agent: configure, prompt, knowledge source, and action. Configure is all the factual information. What do you call this AI agent? You call it Sarah, or you call it, RT. We've heard of many creative names. Just the way you have, names for your team members. Prompt is where you describe what is the job responsibility of this new team member, right? So you come in here and describe your job responsibility is to answer questions related, which are frequently asked questions. Your responsibility is to basically handle prescription refill calls, so on and so forth. And then I'm sure all of us have used AI here and we understand that AI is smart enough to handle any conversation. But what it does not have is knowledge, which is specific to your business. Here you come in and feed that knowledge. Your open hours, locations, services, insurances that you have in network. What is your appointment schedule? Preferences for which provider needs to be booked first versus which provider needs to be booked next, so on and so forth. And then you can allow the AI to take an action. In this case, what I have is, I have an example of a prescription refill where you're defining the AI to be able to take a phone call and collect information for prescription refill. For prescription refills, what's important? Dosage, medication, name of the patient, preferred pharmacy, date of birth, so on and so forth. You can add, I see date of birth is not there, but you can always come in here and add that as well, right? So you can come in here and you could add date of birth, right? And what this will do is, once this is ready and you've defined what data the AI needs to collect, once you deploy this AI, the AI will be actually ready to take a phone call, handle a prescription refill call, and create a case or create a prescription refill request. So create a case for the nursing staff or create a prescription refill request to be reviewed by the provider right inside Athena, which is exactly what your front desk does today, right? So this, now you can imagine, or I'm sure you can go back and do that math at your end, that what percentage of calls, if it's 20%, 10%, or even if it's hundreds of calls, are prescription refill calls. If not 100% of the prescription refill calls, even if 50% of the prescription refill calls are automated, data is written back as a case inside Athena, it's going to save so much of your manual work, right? And that's exactly what we do with appointment scheduling as well. The only difference is, instead of appointment scheduling, in case of appointment scheduling, instead of these fields, you're probably collecting things like preferred appointment date, provider, appointment reason, so on, full name, date of birth, insurance, etc. So you can come in here and easily edit these fields, right? And that's how appointments can also be booked both during and after hours. So that, I just wanted to take a minute for you to be able to visualize, for everybody to be able to visualize how the appointments or how the AI actually set up inside the system, right? Now, we actually took this AI integrated with Athena live with one of our customers across 3 locations, and they were able to see a massive, impact. What we implemented was AI first reminders. We implemented an AI agent which actually took phone calls, and the result that we saw was that no-shows fell to 9%. Staff was able to save at least 62 hours a week, right? Because the AI was actually able to take all the prescription refill calls. AI was actually able to take all the prescription refill calls. AI was able to take all the appointment calls, although it was not able to convert all the appointment calls into actual appointments. And now I will show you how a handoff between a human and an AI happens. I'm certain, we'll of course send you all of this. I don't need to go through each and every impact, in detail. But at a top level, you understand that even if AI is 50% accurate, it is still a big time savior. I'm certain now the next question in your mind is that, hey, if AI is only 50% accurate, what happens to the rest 50% of the conversations, right? That is exactly where our system comes into picture. And I'll show you how our system operates. What our system will do is, it will create the AI agent history. It will show you the history of all the conversations that the AI agent had and what was the information that it collected, right? Whether it collected complete information, partial information, was it on an SMS channel or a call channel? And it will show you that entire information that it collected, right? Name, medication, date of birth, which is the preferred pharmacy, frequency, etc. It's a guided voicemail. It's not like a voicemail where patients have the choice to leave whatever half information they want, right? AI is actually able to guide the patient to leave almost all the information. And you can come in here and read the entire summary, see the entire transcription, and of course look at structured data here or listen to the call that the AI had, right? I think I'm a big believer that AI will never take up 100% of the workload, even for repetitive use cases, but it will certainly get past 80 to 90% accuracy. And for that 10 to 15% accuracy or inaccurate use cases, here is where we've built the interface for you to be able to come in and listen to those calls or manage those conversations, right? So that's a little bit about how AI can be created in our system, and at the same time how you can manage conversations, right? Overall, that's in essence how we've seen AI being used for front desk, but there is a lot of other things that we are introducing with AI. For example, we are introducing a capability where AI will be able to actually read all your voicemails and route them and triage them to the right team, read your messages and triage them to the right team. Those are work in progress items, but think of AI, as an additional resource in your team that can not just handle calls on your behalf, but also do some of this operational work. As I give an example, right? You probably listen to voicemails every morning and understand that, hey, this is a billing voicemail. It goes to the revenue cycle management team. This is an appointment voicemail. It needs to be handled by me. And maybe this is an insurance related query or pharmacy related query. It needs to go to the pharmacist. We're not just automating phone calls. We are also automating operational tasks, helping you sort voicemails, sort messages, route them to the right team, triage them, so on and so forth. This is a little bit about what we've done and the value that we've created for some of our customers. Through what I showed you, I wanted to give you a quick glimpse of how we've set up the AI agent inside our system. But if anybody is interested, in a personalized demo, especially because we integrate with a lot of EMRs, but our AI is fully integrated, closed loop integration right now only with Athena and eClinical works. And given that almost everybody here is an Athena user, so if any of you want a personalized demo, feel free to write to me on anmol@emitter.com or just go onto our website and sign up. That's all for today. Those are the things that I wanted to cover for today and keep it short. We can wrap up for today. But if any of you have questions or would like to see a demo, like I mentioned, as to how AI works or get a trial as well, I think most of you do have my details, contact details, or just hop onto emitter.com and you should be able to reach out to us. Thank you everybody for taking all the time today, and really enjoyed presenting you how we've been able to help practices with AI. Thanks again, everybody.